Hello, my name is Louise Smith, and today I'm going to inform you on the various uses of coffee grounds. First of all, I'm a coffee drinker. I love coffee. I drink coffee all day. I enjoy it. It picks me up. It starts my day. That's how I start my day, with a cup of coffee. Sometimes I end my day with a cup of coffee because I like it. It helps me. It lifts me up. It makes me feel refreshed. So it vitalizes the body with caffeine, and it seems like to me it just have it where it just keeps me going all day. So I enjoy it. Hopefully you will too. It deodorizes the refrigerator from odors. Like if you have like old food or stale bread, or those type of things. Sometimes we tend to leave old food in the refrigerator for a couple of days, and the smell be still in there once we throw it out. So if you get you some coffee grounds and put them in a bowl or a container, and just place them in the refrigerator, it will keep the odors out. um it helps aid in grease and grime. When you wash dishes, what you would do, you would get a couple of grinds and place it in the plate or skillet or pot, and you will use your dish towel and wipe, and you will see that, like, you will see that the grease will be gone, the grime will be gone. And make sure you use lukewarm water. It don't have to be scalding hot. Just make sure you use lukewarm water. It aids to cover up scratches. You would dip a Q-tip into the steep grounds and make sure that your grounds are moist. It don't have to be like wet, but put a little water on it so it can be moist. That way it can have a little wetness to it, and it'll cover up scratches like on your deep wood, on your tables or countertops or something like that, where you have a scratch. You can use to cover up the scratch, because coffee ground gives off a like brownish color, so you can use it that way as well. It gives paper an antique look. What you would do with What I mean by that is, like, if you got stationery paper and you want to be creative and do it in an inexpensive way, you would dip the sheets of stationery paper in a mix of grounds and water. You would, mix the grounds with water, allow them to sit for a minute or two to dry, and then once it dry, you brush off the excess grounds, and you have your like a like a like I say, an antique look. You have an antique look, and it'll be uh I can say fancy, but not, with the expenses of being fancy. It repel insects. This is the one I use all the time. I do a lot of these techniques. I use because it's inexpensive, and I don't have the money to really buy all the expensive things, so I use what I have at home. And to repel insects, what you would do is mount your grounds into a ring, like uh, how you make you a little mount, like you see how ants be mounted. You would just make you a little mount like that, to create a protective border around plants, to create a protective border around plants that will ward off ants and slugs. You know, a lot of times you have your flowers, the leaves be having holes in it, or if you got a garden, the same things happen there. And you know, you can use just like you put your fertilizer down, you can use it that way. That way, the the insects will smell it, and it will keep them from coming in your garden or your flower bed. It contains ashes. Now, I seen my daddy when I was coming up, he used to do this all the time, but I never understood why until I got older. And that's when I was like, I mean, it's a neat little trick to me. What you would do, you would sprinkle the damp grounds on the fireplace ashes. This cuts down on the airborne. When you sweep the ashes up, it'll help it from spreading. You know how ashes, they fly because they so light, and that way it'll be contained in just one area, and when you sweep, it won't be lightly flying around. So that'll be something good to for the ones that have fireplaces. Actually, I don't have one, but I would like to have one. So I mean, that's a good idea. Cheap, inexpensive. Anything inexpensive I like. So you can scrub your hands with it. All you have to do is just rub a scoop of grounds between your palms as an exfoliant to remove dead skin. Didn't know that, and help eliminate smells from like onion, and you know how when you chop up onion and garlic, the smell be on your hands. So and then when you eat fish, the smell be on your hands. So all you have to do, inexpensive way, something you got at home, instead of going buy the expensive hand soap, all you gotta do is just get you some ground and rub it, and then wet your hand and wash your hand like you normally would do. You know, that's something good too. Last but not least, it makes a cockroach trap. It makes a cockroach trap. What you would do, you would fill a can or a jar, whichever one you prefer, or a container, something that has a mouth on it, something that has a lip. That would probably be best to use a jar. You know, fill a can or jar with an inch or two of the wet grounds. Make sure they're wet. Then line the neck of it up with some double-sided tape, but make sure that the tape is sticky, 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 so it can stick. The scent from the grounds attracts the cockroach, and when the cockroach smells it, it attracts, and it want to come and eat it. So when it come to eat it, it's gonna get stuck because the tape is sticky, so it gets stuck to the tape. And these are the major uses, or some of the uses, that coffee ground has been helpful to me. I do a lot of these things all the time. So if you're running low on money, think about the uses of coffee ground, what it can aid in.